Today's video isn't about what went on this past week, although there was lots of challenges. I filmed a little bit of it, and the days were long. This video is really about some of the challenges, if you will, in farm life, and more personally, my life. It has been busy for certain. We made hay this week, and we did 2 farms, our farm and our neighbor's farm. Earlier in the week, I did a video and shared some of the challenges we had in the first part of the week. Suffice to say, those challenges didn't stop. It seemed like every time we went out to do a different operation, we had a problem or a challenge. Let me just say that. So it was really a difficult week, albeit it was a good week because we ended up making somewhere around, I think, about 108, 110 bales, a couple little small ones. So we'll go with a solid 105 bales. That's more than we make throughout the whole year, normally on the farm. And it's just a huge blessing. Let me say that. Challenge, yes. Every time I went out, or it felt like every time I went out, we'd have something that wouldn't work quite properly with the equipment. So that made the week difficult. The days are long when we do hay, and I've got to say that it presents challenges both with making hay, creating a video, and then life within the house. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. We had some challenges this week, or some things happened on the farm that I'd like your advice, your help, and your thoughts and your prayers. I really would. It's Sunday morning, by the way. It's the day you're going to see this video. And there's a few things on my heart that I wanted to share. And it's difficult for me to say this or to just kind of bring this up. So I am doing my very best to make this simple. As I'm filming, I'm thinking, I want to say the right things. I don't want to do a lot of editing. I want this to be as real as possible. Let me kind of go into it. Farm life can be hard, and I chose farm life, and I'm not saying that to say, oh, woe is me. I do enjoy farming. I like what we do here, but there are certainly challenges that present themselves a lot different than if you're working a regular job. For instance, when you work a regular job, or when I worked a regular job, I could just get up, go for a workout, like a run or bike or something like that, maybe go swim, and then go to work. And then when I'm done, I just go home. We're here, that doesn't happen. You are at work, and every day when you get up, it's here. It really is. And so at that, it's kind of tough because you don't get to get away. Now this summer we did go away. We went to the Ark, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. It really was. We had a lot of prep work to do beforehand and a lot of things to do afterwards, but we got to spend time away as a family, and that was the first time we ever took a vacation. That's really one of the first times we left the farm for any significant amount of time in about the last 8 years. And it was good. I say it was really good. I'm looking forward to the next time, which is coming up soon. We're only leaving for a day. We're going to go ride the train over in Cass. But to leave the farm can be a little bit of a challenge, and farming itself can present its own challenges. So what we do, if you don't know that, we are a maple syrup farm. We do raise animals. We have a B&B here on the farm, and it's constantly something going on. I do enjoy that. Now, with the constant work that we have, some of the challenges that I have with myself trying to learn and fix things that will happen, things can become pretty tense. And kind of what kind of really set this video off was, let me read a text to you. Hidden Springs Homestead, that's Andrew. He lives down the street from us, maybe 5 or 6 miles away. No, but probably a little bit more than that. He lives not quite a town over, but a mountain tour over. Let's go with that, a mountain range or two. And he said that he watched our video last night, and this was the video that we played on Monday, this past week. And he says, watched your video last night with Caleb, his son. That's one of the things they enjoy doing. And we really enjoy you guys watching too. But he said he watched it, and we had a few bad things that happened. I do the same thing with watch time, meaning he was talking about my Kevin time or farmer time, where I'll tell Emily it's going to take about 30 minutes, and I come back about 2 or 3 hours later. Well, he said something that kind of caught me off guard. He said, you really show a lot of patience. And I think in some of our videos, maybe I do that, but I want you to know that that's not the way it is. It really isn't. And that's with me. It may not be with other farmers, but me specifically, I am not a patient person. I'm not. I don't edit that out. I try to show you as much as I can the real, what it's like to be a farmer from my perspective. I'm not a commodity farmer. I'm not doing soy. We're not doing wheat or corn or stuff like that. So I don't know what it's like to have all that huge equipment and the maintenance of such. I know what it takes to be a maple farmer, and then to farm cattle and sheep and ducks and chickens and things like that. So for me, it has been an exceptional challenge in the last week or two, and we could probably even go further back than that. I don't really know how to say it. I'll just go ahead and say it. I have my own challenges personally, and this video is more of an appeal to you for prayers for me. I have not been the husband that I want to be, not just because I'm farming and I'm going out to do all this extra work. I am lashed out at my children. I don't really lash out at my wife. I do have maybe some passive aggressiveness with her, when things aren't done the way I expect. But I am not leading my family the way that I feel that God wants me to lead my family. And one of my biggest challenges, and I don't know if it's anger or frustration, maybe they're combined. It's maybe unrealized expectations when I ask the kids and my wife to do certain things and they don't do it. Well, that kind of sets me off. It makes me angry. And I lash out. And my biggest thing is probably yelling. I yell at my children entirely too much. I don't yell at my wife, but the way I talk to her is not kind. And it makes me sad to say this. It really does. I don't know how to process my anger at times or my frustration at times. And so it usually comes out as just yelling. So a couple of days ago, I had come in, and it was late. We had a lot. So I think this was probably on Tuesday when we had some friends come in, Jeff and Nova. They're coming out to roast some coffee, and my wife had to work. So I have the kids, and we went over to our neighbor's farm to make the hay. Well, we had cut the hay, got it all ready, and we're getting ready to roll some bales. And I rolled a few, I changed out my net wrap, and it didn't work. So suffice to say, the baler wasn't working at all, no cell reception. I couldn't figure out why. My little cheat sheet didn't have any of the information on how to reset the baler. So I didn't even know I needed to reset the baler. I happened to get like a spot of cell reception in this tiny little valley. And what happened, I sent a text message to the gentleman I bought my baler from at Mint Springs, and they were wonderful, but I could not receive their message. Well, so all this being said, I came back to the farm, got the baler fixed, went back and baled while Jeff and Nova watched our children, which was great. I didn't get back till dark, just about dark. Well, when I got back, my son hadn't put the ducks up. And I know that seems rather trite, but he didn't. And I needed him to do that because now it's dark, and then getting the ducks and the geese up were pretty much a big challenge. And when I say that, that's a lot of justification. This happened, therefore I should be mad. Well, I lashed out at my kids in a manner that was just not respectful in front of Jeff. And I don't even know what to say. It made me feel pretty bad to do that. And this has bled over, this anger these unrealized expectations that I have put on myself or my family has bled over into my relationship with my wife. So I need your thoughts and I need your prayers. This is not a video of woe is me. Absolutely not. I am blessed to be here, to do what we do, to do where we do it, to have a beautiful family, to have a beautiful farm. Without a doubt, I don't deserve any of it. I want to be a better dad, a better husband, a better father. And I could use your prayers. I really could. Today's video isn't about what went on this past week, although there was lots of challenges. I filmed a little bit of it, and the days were long. This video is really about some of the challenges, if you will, in farm life, and more personally, my life. We all put on a pretty good show for, or let's say a pretty good face for videos. You know, we act a certain way in a video, but in reality, is that who we are? And I think, yes, we are for the most part, at least in our videos, I am the person you see. However, there's a backside to it as well, and that backside is where things aren't always pretty. And sometimes they are, and we always have. We can have some good times, but sometimes they're just not. And when they're not, we really need to step up to the plate, or I need to step up to the plate, own my mistakes, own my challenges, own my problems, and move on. Well, I'm not going to get through this without prayer, without Christ. And what's the verse that says, be slow to anger? That's the one that comes up. And there's another one too. I think Paul's talking about this, where he says, I do the things I don't want to do, and I want to do the things that I want to do, right? And then the tail behind that, you know, how's that goal accomplished? Well, it's through Christ. It's through God. And that's kind of where I am. I don't want to yell at my kids. I don't want to be mean to my wife. You know, sometimes I am, and I got to change. I do. I want my good home life. I want my family to feel safe, to be secure, to be able to make mistakes and not feel like they're maybe walking on eggshells. And I need your prayers. I do. If you would pray for us as a family, I would really appreciate it. Yesterday, I went to church, and we have a men's prayer group that meets on Saturday, because today's Sunday, Saturday mornings. I shared some of my challenges with the men in the group, and I have to say I was surprised. A lot of the guys there said that they felt the same way and they had some of the similar challenges, and then they prayed for me. And if you've never been prayed over, it is an amazing experience. It is. The gentleman sitting beside me, his name is Alan. He actually put his hands on me and prayed for me. And other men in the group prayed for me as well. And we prayed for other things too. Our country, our community, each other. The ability to be able to talk to somebody in an environment like that, which is just solely men. The whole purpose of that group is to share our thoughts and pray for one another and pray for our community, is really important. And I don't know if you have that in your life. This is new for me. Now, in the past, I've been a part of men's groups, but we joined this church this year, and I started going to men's group on Saturday mornings about a month or two ago, and it's been great, really great. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I don't know if I'll get emotional, but I can say that God has led us where He wants us, and we found this church called New Hope Church of the Brethren, a great, wonderful church with very kind and biblically based people. You know, the men of that church lead it and lead it very well. I am great to be under them and to learn from them and and to have them as friends. With that being said, it's pretty important to pray for one another. And I would covet any of your thoughts, any of your prayers. It would mean a lot to me if you would consider doing that and kind of help me through this journey of frustration. And this is within myself. And I'm not saying farming has its own frustrations, right? But within myself as a man, an older man, I'm not a young kid. I'm really not. I am so glad that I had children later in life. I would have been a horrible dad, or let me say, a more horrible dad had I done it at a younger age. Not to say that anybody's a bad dad at a young age. I'm only speaking for myself. And at this point in life, I'm blessed to have the men at that church support me, and I'm really blessed to have you watch our videos. It just means a lot to us. The most valuable asset you can give, that is your time. And I really appreciate it. I really do. Please consider praying for us. If you want to leave something in the comments, that'd be fine. If you want to email us directly, you can always go to our website at millgatfarms.com. We got hacked this week. How about that for interesting? Our website got some malware in it, and we couldn't get rid of it, so we had to redesign the whole thing. And thankfully, my friend Kevin, he lives over in the valley, he helped with that. I didn't do much of anything except give him passwords. He repointed our domain to this new site that he created, and we're blessed. So it does have a contact form if you ever want to get in touch with us. That's where you do it. But thanks a lot for watching the videos. We really appreciate it. This is not a thumbs up kind of video. This is more of a, if you can give me anything in prayers, I would really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll be putting out some videos this week, sharing some details of what went on this past week and what's going to be going on in the weeks to come. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, God bless you.